Whoops. What'd you bring back? Flesh-eating bacteria. Welcome to Burnt Out Perfectionist. My name is Sara.
My name is Eve.
We would like to welcome all fellow late-diagnosed ADHDers, neurodiverse pals, and everyone in between. Get ready to enjoy us on a wild ride through the ups and downs of adulting, late-diagnosed ADHD, and navigating everyday life.
We've got laughs, relatable stories, and more than a sprinkle of wisdom, I'd say.
Yeah, I would say that too. So today we are going to dive into our episode. It is about, so our subject today is Would You Rather, but we're going to do the ADHD edition, just for shits and giggles.
So by ADHD edition, it's more like including the neurospicy things that we have.
Yeah.
In like a regular this or that.
So it would be, for example, the question. Apparently we're riding horses here. The first question is, would you rather have the ability to hyper-focus on any task for hours, but struggle to switch tasks afterwards, or have the ability to multitask effortlessly, but never fully immerse yourself in any one activity?
I feel like I do A already.
I feel like A is me.
I feel like...
would you want B as the option?
I feel like I would like to try B, but I would also constantly be thinking about the tasks that I do.
Okay, that's the whole thing, is I see A as following through and finishing through to completion, versus I see B as like, oh, I'm doing everything, but I'm doing everything at like 15 to 20%.
Yeah.
That's how my brain is working with that question.
Which I enjoy a good like 80% per task.
Yeah.
I'd say 80-ish. I'm just adding a space because
she's fixing the outline, everybody.
I'm editing. Would you rather have a job that constantly changes tasks and environments but little routine, or have a job with a strict routine with monotonous tasks?
Okay, so I literally, the last job that I had was like a mixture of both. Like I had a set test that I had to do, but then I had other things that I had to do outside of that. And it's okay, but I think as long as you have like management that understands that and sets that like expectation, or you're like, okay, I'm spending this much time on this stuff, it's actually slowly leaking into whatever, or you're asking me to do this, what am I dumping? Like, and the worst is like when they put it back on you, well, what do you not want to do? And I'm like, well, I want to do all the things, but you're telling me I have to do these other things. So just tell me which one you think is like, well, I'm like, just tell me, basically.
I like having a job that has like a mixture. So like I'll have monotonous tasks of like
the main structure of your day. Yeah.
And then obviously the treatment that I do changes every day. So I feel like, yeah, so my job has like some monotonous tasks, but I also feel like I like to have a monotonous task job for partial, like part-time, and then have like other fun things that I can do, more creative things on the other side.
Yeah. I mean, like if I'm signing up for a job, I know like the standard tasks of said job, but I don't know if it's me seeking or them finding me, but usually something that's like super creative will find me. And I love doing stuff like that, but I always have the understanding that I need to get like the job that I was hired to do done first, unless of course I'm hired into a role that does the other stuff. Like I used to do voiceovers for like voice acting stuff for one of the companies that I used to work for. But that wasn't my job, but I would do it as they needed it, like for different like announcements and all this other stuff, or like learning modules and stuff. I would do that. So like I had the understanding that that wasn't actually part of my job, but people are like, I can't believe you're not being paid more for that. I'm like, oh, I literally have so much fun. Like I sit there for like 2 hours and read off some lines and then I'm solid.
Yeah.
Like it was fun. I didn't really care much about, I was compensated really well at that company, so I didn't really mind. I thought that it was them recognizing a little creative thing in me that I never recognized, and then kind of going from there. But would you rather have the ability to instantly organize any space but struggle to maintain that organization, or have a cluttered space that somehow makes perfect sense to you?
I do love organizing.
Oh, you do?
I find that organizing is I like organizing for other people.
Organizing for other people is the best thing ever.
I found that organizing for myself, I'll like organize and then I'm like, well, meh.
Or I'll organize and I'll either like constantly edit the system because it doesn't work for somebody else in my house. And I'll be like, oh, okay, well, how can I make sure that like their needs are accommodated? Or I could do, or it's like, I'm bored of this being here, or this doesn't seem to function properly. I want it to function differently, and then moving stuff around. So, I mean, I honestly feel like I constantly live in the, I can organize it, but it's sometimes it's a struggle to maintain, but also I'm creating an organization system or something that I feel is logical and works for everybody, but maybe other people don't recognize that, and that's fair. People are allowed to have their own fucking thoughts.
Yeah. I also feel like it depends on what space.
Oh, yeah, especially if you only have so much space. Like, my kitchen has these weird cupboards that are, like, super deep behind, but, like, you can only really access, like, the first 3 feet from the front of the cupboard. Yeah. If not, then you have to, like, contort yourself in, and I'm the only person who'd probably be willing to do that, and it just doesn't make sense. So you put stuff back there, like holiday dishes or something, like things that you're not really going to use.
Yeah, so it's kind of a pain.
Yeah.
Would you rather have the power to control your impulses but feel emotionally numb, or feel every emotion intensely but struggle to control impulsive behavior?
I have to read that again. Would you rather have the power to control your impulses but feel emotionally numb, or feel every emotion intensely but struggle to control impulse behaviors? Is it bad that I'd almost want to be numb?
I am numb, so... I don't, like, when people say, like, control your impulses, I feel like it's like a jumping in conversation type thing.
Yeah.
But then constantly feel numb. But I find that I don't, like, I see things in a very logical perspective. So if somebody's crying about something I don't consider, like, purposeful.
Well, sometimes there's... Have you, I feel like you have you ever been at a point where, like, someone's really upset about something, and you're just kind of looking at them and you're like, how do you want me to feel right now in this situation? Or you're trying to figure it out for yourself, like, in your brain. You're like, am I supposed to be crying with this person? Should I be involuntary? Like, should I be, like, hugging them? But what if that invades their space? Like, there's that, like, inner monologue where you're like, am I doing the right thing?
I think, like...
Instead of sitting there awkwardly smiling.
I have, like, the same response as, like, Sheldon.
Yeah. They're there.
I just don't, like, if somebody's super upset about, like, a monotonous thing, like, something like their favorite pen broke.
Oh, and they're, like, really upset about it?
And they're, like, upset. I'm like, well, we can get another pen.
Oh, my immediate reaction is I go to, like, a mom answer. I'm like, are you hungry?
It's a pen.
Why are we this upset about a pen?
And it's like, we can get another pen. Like, the solution can happen. They're like, but I really like this pen. And I'm like, we can get the same pen. They didn't just make...
Yeah. I used to have, like, favorite pens, but I'd be like, oh, my favorite pen's gone. Move on and get something else to write with.
I know.
Who fucking cares?
I also constantly have pens on me, so...
Right? Would you rather have the ability to hyper-focus during important conversations but struggle to remember details afterwards? Or have a keen memory of details but constantly zone out during conversations? I feel like I do both. Depending on the person, I feel like I do both.
I'm going to be honest. I don't like the word hyperfocus. I think it's
because
we're just concentrating. It's like you tune in all of your attention to something.
Yeah.
I'm like, you're not doing anything hyper. Well, hyper just means higher, increased amount. But
yeah.
I just feel like when you say, like, hyper-focused during important conversations but to struggle to remember, that means you're not hyper-focusing because you're not registering the information.
I agree with you because that's, like, when you look at the acronym of ADHD, it's like hyper. Well, not everybody's hyper. And then it says attention deficit. I'm like, there is no deficit in paying attention.
Well, it's hyperactivity.
Yeah, I know, but I'm like, it's like, and I'm like... I feel like it was a term that was originally made and maybe needs a revamp. I know people probably, like, roll their eyes like, another revamp of something. I'm like, I don't feel like it encompasses everybody. I feel like it just should be, I don't know. Well, I should be like dopamine seekers or something.
I feel like I remember everything. And it's like I will, like, listen and someone will be like, oh, well, I need this. And I'm like, oh, here's a random bit of information. Yeah, I know. But, like, I find with, especially if someone's, like, talking to me about something for a long time, and it's like, we've had this conversation before, I'm like, yes, I totally understand. Exactly. I completely agree.
Or I'll look at people and be like, the worst is, like, when you remember, though, and you're having the conversation, and they're like, oh, yeah, I read that, or, oh, I know, and they just keep going because they need to finish your thought, and you're like, I know I was there. You know what I mean?
I used to never say that, of, like, I know I was there, but sometimes I'm like, I was there, I know.
Yeah.
I hear about it. Like, I find that people will frequently retell situations.
Yeah.
Like someone's not there.
I know. And I always will look at you if I'm saying something like, shit, were you there?
And I'm like, yes, I do understand because I was there.
Yeah.
But
with me, you'll be like, hand up. I was there. Or you'll give me this face. And it's like, dude, I was there.
Yeah. But it's also the same thing of like, oh, you wouldn't know because you weren't born yet. And I'm like, well, then why are you telling me? Is this important information?
Oh, sometimes I'm like, wouldn't you know this? Oh, no, wait, you weren't born.
Would you rather live in a world without distractions but with limited stimulation, or live in a world filled with endless distractions but also endless possibilities for creativity?
I choose B.
I feel like there isn't a possible way for a world without distractions.
100%. That's why I was like, I choose B. But I would also like the endless possibilities for creativity.
Because when I hear like without distractions, I'm like, so we're sitting in a white box. But I'd still be like, I think that speck is not white. I think it's...
There'd be something that would be dirty or something that was off.
Yeah.
Or I'd be like, how do I get out of this? Okay, for me, it's the whole thing where it's like filled with endless distractions, but also endless possibilities for creativity. What I mean is I would like be, everyone's like, oh, well, you can like do whatever you want. I feel like there's a lot of like roadblocks when it comes to doing certain things. Like, and I'm not shitting on like the government or anything, but it's just like, they'll be like, oh, you have to charge tax for this, or you need to sign up for this program. Oh, but wait, you have to wait 45 days to do that. Oh, but wait, you need this. Oh, but wait, you need this. And it's like, I just want to do the thing. I think I just do the thing.
Creativity is quite like relative.
Yeah.
Because anybody can be creative in different ways.
Mm-hmm.
But I also feel like if I lived in a world where there was like endless distractions, which anything can be a distraction, it would be difficult to not have that place that wasn't a distraction.
Yeah.
Like that place to like unplug.
Yeah.
Versus like I would love a lot of people on TikTok that I see, like Karen Joy. I think her name is Karen Joy.
Oh, yeah.
Love her.
She's like a nurse or whatever, and she does home decor. She's crazy.
She just like
on home decor.
Super cool home decor. Super bright, super colorful. In theory, love it. But I know that after a bit, I'd be like, it is too bright in here, and the shade is not vibing with me anymore. But if I see somebody who has like a dark gray moody wall, I'm like, this is my vibe.
Okay, so with the design aspect, I love Karen stuff, and that would have totally been me up until the age of about 25, because I would paint my room like neon colors. I would do all that stuff, and I did that before, and I would have like fun decor or whatever. And then it was so funny because there's one, I don't know if she's called ADHD mom or ADHD emo mom, and she started painting walls in her house black and certain things like black and white. And she's like, I don't know why, it just makes my brain feel calm. And I was like, I get that.
Yeah.
And it makes everything like, it's not a show home, so it's not beige, gray, or white, but it's also like neutral, but like she makes sure that all of her decor is like black and white, which I feel like if I did that, I would have like crazy color decor and then have everything like black or whatever.
I like the like almost like the ocean beach. I like the white with the blue design.
That's essentially what I have in my house. Is like everything
like the white, like you know the vases.
Vases? You mean vases?
It's a vase. It's not a vase.
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 Pink.
Why was that the start? Pink.
No, okay, so my whole life, okay, I'm going on a random tangent now. Be prepared, everyone. Ham.
Yeah.
Tuna.
Tuna. My God, what do you put your clothes on in the closet?
Hangers.
Hanger.
Yeah.
What do you call the thing they use to change the channel?
Clicker.
Okay, apparently people call it a remote control.
Oh my God, because it's actually called a remote control.
Or a channel surfer.
It's a surfboard? What?
Channel.
My name is Sarah.
And my name is Eve.
Currently, you are listening to our podcast, Burnt Out Perfectionist, but did you know that we also have a clothing and apparel line?
If you haven't heard,
Some cases.
it's called Overwhelm the Label.
So it is overwhelmthelabel.com or .zed. We're also working with a new distributor. And that also means that our shipping is cheaper.
Significantly cheaper.
Significantly cheaper. So before you were looking at $15.99 or higher, it is actually $10.95.
Also, that has allowed us to break into a wider variety of hoodies and t-shirts.
And
so we have more colors. The only one we don't have more colors in is the crew necks.
a big reason why we decided to make this change is we want to make sure that everyone is included. And the previous one that we were using, there wasn't a lot of sizes that were the smaller sizes or the sizes that, you just want to actually wear.
So most of our products go from extra small to 4XL.
Yes.
I believe the t-shirts go to 5XL. And that includes all of the colors that are available by the vendor. So if one is out, please make sure to check back in.
Yeah.
We will always have them available as long as they are available by the vendor.
And I know you're sitting there pending, especially those folks who are in Iowa who love to visit our website. We are still looking for a tax expert in Canada so we can figure out how the taxes work. So this is still only Canadian shipping, $10.95. And Canadians come along and pay. We're able to do the taxes and everything accordingly. And we promise you, when we get that information, we will immediately launch for the States. We see all of you. We are doing our best. If you have any suggestions, please DM us on TikTok, Instagram, anything like that. Because, who would be more understanding than an actual U.S. tax person to maybe assist a Canadian tax person? Yep. So, again, that is hoodies, crew necks, t-shirts, and phone cases.
And maybe more.
And
Part 2.
maybe more in part 2. So thank you so much. And we will get back to listening to Burnt Out Perfectionist every Monday at 6 a.m. Pacific Standard Time.
Yep. So we interrupted us to then lead back into us.
Heck yeah, we did. Okay, let's get her done. Okay, it was like, here's our random side tangent of random things that we say. Because I saw a bunch of people like tagging Ashley and Alicia and just being so shitty on them. Like, everybody says things different. And, like, if I'm just, like, if it is, like, baby pink, I bet you that I go, oh, it's pink. Like that. Like, but who cares? But I got bugged so hard for the way that I said stuff.
Ham.
Tuna sandwich. Ham.
Why do you sound like you're from one?
I don't know.
Tuna sandwich?
Tuna sandwich. That's how I always said it. And people literally bugged me so bad in school. And they're like, what the heck? And I was like, what was ham? The way that I say ham. Apparently it sounds like ham. Like whiny. Like the people are like the nanny, like Fran Drescher. There was, what's the other thing? I don't know. I always like, what was that thing that I scared? Oh, my socks. I called them Saxony. And you were like, Saucony? You're like, ma'am. So it's Saucony. I put my foot up, but we don't do free foot content here at this time. We'll see how the economy goes.
Mine was button.
Oh, and I would always jokingly say Adidas instead of Adidas. People would be like, are you kidding me right now? I'm like, what?
Oh my god. We had one at work. Orientated versus oriented.
Oh.
So the American way is oriented.
Okay.
But the like British English way is orientated.
Funny things we say. I might think
of stuff that I said it wrong. I was turning around and I was like, what?
Like, wait a second. Hold your horses. What was the other thing?
Sorry, I'm really distracted. I was like, what?
Oh, that's why I was like, pre-warning, I'm about to go off on a tangent because it's been stuck in my head, the certain things that I say.
Oh my god, what did we have for breakfast today?
Bagel.
Yeah, you say it with a U.
What?
You say like bagel.
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 I know, Ben's like, seagulls don't eat bagels. They eat bagels. I can't even do it.
Seagulls eat bagels? Oh, bagels?
No, he's like, you have like a gull instead. I had a lot of people who asked me if I was from like different places in the States. I've had Brooklyn. I've had, do you have family that's in Georgia? And I was like, first off, I do not sound that cool. And other ones were like, oh, do you have family in like Connecticut? And I was like,
why do I get Maine?
which one are we on?
We are on number 8.
Are you reading it or me?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I think.
Would you rather have the ability to instantly absorb information but struggle to retain long term, or have a slower learning process but a deeper understanding of the material? So I'm just going to let everybody know that School Sarah is definitely option 1, which is ability to instantly absorb information, but I could not remember it for the life of me. And now that I have an understanding that I learn differently, I like slow down and I try to do a little bit more research when I'm trying to understand something before actually doing it.
I feel like naturally, like I have like a really good vocal memory and like number memory. So if somebody says something to me, I'll remember it. But if somebody, like if I have to write it down, I won't remember. I'd say I'll probably, like I'd be a slower learner process, but I like to overthink the material.
Yeah, I mean, I'm like one of those people, I do better with like videos or listening. Like I'll do Audible over actually reading a book.
Yeah.
That's like, to me, that's easier. Plus I can like do something else, which I know some people are like, you should just sit down and not focus and read a book. Janet, that is not going to happen. So if I can listen to a book while I'm walking to Tim Hortons, or listen to a book while I'm cleaning my freaking kitchen, I'm still reading and I'm getting something done, because that's what like my body does. It drives me nuts when people are like, no, in order to read a book, you either have to physically read it or you're not considered reading the book. Like listening to it doesn't work. If I'm learning something though, it actually works better for me to listen and have the actual book in my hand.
Would you rather have a schedule filled with structure and activities, but feel overwhelmed by the rigidity, or have a flexible schedule, but struggle to stay organized and on track?
This is like me during hockey season, me not during hockey season.
I love structure.
Oh, I do. Like, I love having the expectation of what's going to happen the next day, because if not, I'm like, did I pack enough? Oh, what did I do? Like, I feel like I thrive more on like a structure and understanding of what's coming up. I don't really like surprises, because then I'm like, but we took meat out for dinner and now we're going out. Like, that's a waste. So I got to remember to cook that tomorrow. So if I don't cook that tomorrow, then I'll throw it in the trash. And then, okay, what else did I have to do today? Was there anything else? Or when someone just goes, let's just pop into the grocery store. I'm like, pop in. No, I have to go through the Flip app, make sure I know what's there so I don't miss like a deal on something that we actually use. Got to double check the Alexa Amazon list, because I yell at her all the time when I run out of something, like those things. So I feel like sometimes I'll feel overwhelmed, but it's okay, because at least I know what's happening versus like the unknown. Would you rather have the ability to quiet your mind at will, but lose your creative spark, or have constantly buzzing mind full of ideas, but struggle to focus on one thing at a time? Isn't the second one just ADHD, or?
I have a delightful capability of knowing what's in Sarah's mind most of the time.
Yeah, it's weird.
It's annoying.
It is annoying, and it's weird. Especially when I'm trying to hide something, like a present, and you're like, oh my god, I can't believe you bought me blank. I'm like, get the fuck out of my brain. I have returned things because I'm like, fuck, she guessed what it is, and I want the element of surprise.
So I feel like A would never be a thing for me. I can never quiet my mind, because if I'm not thinking my own thoughts, I'm usually hearing yours or somebody else's.
I feel like if my mind was,
I feel like weird.
No, I feel like if my mind was completely quiet, I would be like, I don't know what to do next, because I'm always like planning steps ahead. But like when I do take like Concerta as an example, I feel like it quiets things out, but it's more like the things that are like, well, you better get this done, because if you don't, the world's going to end. Those kinds of voices go away. Not like the ones that are like, I have 25 business ideas. Let's get ready, bitch.
Oh, yeah. The amount of times that it's like, you're good at that, you should start a business. And I'm like, by this time, I would have 45 businesses. I don't need that.
So I'm reading this book called ADHD 2.0.
Yeah.
So it's an average of 50% or more of ADHDers are actual entrepreneurs or aspire to be entrepreneurs. Also, can we give a high five? I just said that word without stuttering. Entrepreneur. And that's like they were going through all the facts, and I'm literally like, I think it's like the prologue into this book. I'm listening to it, and I'm like, hot damn, this is a relatable book. Okay, I'm gonna see if this TikTok plays. So, well, we can't. What am I doing, Sarah? Just go like this. Okay, so I'm gonna play this TikTok. Let's see if it like fully.
One of the questions on an autism assessment is, what do 2 and 7 have in common?
Okay, what do 2 and 7 have in common? I'll play his like response after. So my friend sent this to me. I will tell you my response, but you tell me yours. What do 2 and 7 have in common?
They're both prime numbers. And
Okay.
2 is like 7 upside down.
Okay, so I said, he says,
me driven. Okay, because I've seen this. Yeah, the question is, what do 2 and 7 have in common? My first thought, and the same as this girl and every other neurodivergent on here that I've seen answer this question, it has had to deal with, like everyone has said, my thought was, oh, they have similar shapes. Or another girl was like, oh, they both do this. And another girl was like, oh, they look similar. And so, sorry, I'm excited and out of breath.
this guy's so relatable. But like, okay, so my friend sent it to me. I have to go back to my freaking thing. Here we go.
Also, for some reason, they both give me yellow.
Okay, there were some people who said colors. I can read the comments after. So I wrote back to my friend, and she was like, I'm curious what your initial thoughts are on this. And I was like, well, in my brain, when I heard that, 2 is Monday, 7 is Saturday. Also, they both make even numbers. If you do 2 and 2 is 4. 7 and 7 is 14. And they're close to looking like their brother, 5. That's my brain.
We're along the same lines.
Yeah, right? Like, that was the whole thing. So with, I'll go back to it. Sorry, I'll probably just play for a second. 5. They share a mutual friendship with 5.
Yeah.
Yep. 2 and 7 are the same as Tuesday and Thursday. So I think Sunday to Saturday for a week. A lot of people go Monday to Sunday.
But on calendar, I need Sunday to Saturday.
Okay. That's how I think. I'm like, my ADHD self, they're both prime numbers, and they're both yellow. I told you.
It was this math was usually 2.
No. Oh, Darcy and Jeremy commented on this TikTok. I love them. It was instantly shaped for me.
Yeah.
Just the shape. This tore through my workplace, and many were confused, and some got it right away. First off, it's not a riddle. There's like nothing further that person wrote. I said 5, and I'm glad I'm not alone. I immediately went, they're both odd, and I'll never be so disappointed in myself. 2 is just 7 with a little foot. I was like, oh my God. Someone's like, why the hell did I just yell 5 when I heard this? Like, there are so many different little things, and that's the funny part is like how brains work and how there's just something that simple. It's almost like that, like, was it yellow and white versus, like, is it blue or is it yellow, the dress?
Oh my God. Or the shoes.
Okay, I don't know who said gold. Not me. I was like chameleon because it looked like a pinky shift when I looked at it.
I saw blue and black.
Someone was like, maybe it's the aura of the shoe. I'm like,
oh, you're talking about the shoe. I think you're talking about the dress. I was like, I saw black and blue. I never saw yellow and white.
I tried so hard to see yellow and white.
Dude, I changed my phone. Oh my God. Or Yanni or Laurel.
Okay, I still don't. What do you hear?
I can hear both. It's whatever one you focus on.
Oh, okay. I literally am just like, I'm like, I think it's because my brain does this. Do we actually need to give a shit about this? No. Sometimes I'm like, ooh, I'm intrigued. Like this one, other ones I'm like, that's dumb. Moving on.
Yeah. Oh, the other thing that I also thought of is they kind of look like dinosaurs.
Charlie asked me this, but I like bumped it up. So it's more like, would you rather have a pet dragon that helps you with your tasks, but occasionally sets things on fire when it gets excited? Or have a magical talking backpack that helps you stay organized but constantly distracts you with stories. She was like, Mom, would you rather have a pet dragon or Dora's backpack? And I just randomly remember that one day. I'm like, I'm writing this down. I just love how it's like occasionally sets things on fire. I feel like
I'd like the dragon, please.
I feel like the dragon.
I feel like his name would be like Bartholomew, and he'd be like, oh no, but.
And I'm like, or a backpack that keeps you, it stays organized, but distracts you with story. I just think of like Grandpa Simpson's backpack. You're like, can I get a granola bar? You know, back in my day, we made granola bars from scratch.
Shine tea.
That's another word I say that's weird.
Scratch?
No. Mom literally never pointed this out. And then one day I said it and she goes, God, you still say it that way? Granola bar.
Granola bar?
Granola bar.
I heard anything extra hard.
I don't know, but she's like, I thought it was super cute when you were little. I didn't realize they still did it.
What? It's grain. Ola.
There's random.
How do you say granola?
Granola.
Okay, why do you, when you say bar, you add an R?
I think it's there's so many other R's.
Okay, say granola.
Granola.
Bar.
Bar.
Granola bar.
Granola bar. Welcome to my brain, everybody.
The one that I can't say is the ocean versus I want that one.
From Alice in Wonderland, you know, like the walrus. He's like saying all the things, and I'm like, "Hey, say it with me, Charlie." She's like, "What?" I'm like, "Specifically, we're currently located closest to the Pacific Ocean," and she goes, "Don't make me say it," because she's like, "Oh, I have a hard time saying it."
Specifically, we are by the Pacific Ocean.
Like,
I don't know the P.
She sells seashells by the seashore.
Oh my God, what was the one that you did before? And I looked closer. You're like, what just came in your mouth?
Oh, I can't remember. I'm so hilarious. I can't even remember all the stupid
Oh my
shit.
God, the one that our mom says that makes sense to me is avocado.
Okay, why? That woman says everything else like an atypical Canadian, and all of a sudden she's like, avocado.
No, so I think she thinks it's the fancier way.
I was going to say, is it the fancier way to say it? I'm trying to think of the other, there's other shit that I say too.
But when I was younger was cinnamon.
A cinnamon? Oh, I had a hard time saying that when I was a kid.
It's a real click cinnamon. Or the synonym.
Oh, no.
Synonym.
No. Or that.
Cinnamon.
Okay, I'm going to take a deep breath. Onomatopoeia.
Hot puff fizz. Oh, what a piece really fit us. All to awesome. But an onomatopoeia.
So, me and my words. Also remembering how to say them and or spell them, like Saskatchewan. Alicia Kumar's mom, shout out. Sam and Sally at the Cherry Hotel every Wednesday at 9. Only fucking reason why I can spell that province. Do I still do it under my breath? I sure do.
I have a genuine question.
Yeah.
A social studies teacher in Canada. Why do you not? Why do you go, Kate, you need to write it horizontally? There's like 14 letters. Why? How can I spend it on a little chat box?
Oh, yeah. It's like, yeah, no. I used to always just run it vertically. Because I was like, it's fucking
See,
huge.
it's like New Brunswick, Newfoundland, and Labrador. Why do the smallest places have the biggest names?
No. You're not letting the acronym for PEI. So I have to write out Prince Edward Island on the world's smallest fucking island. Well, it's not the world's smallest island. I think that's Madagascar. Isn't it?
I think it's
There's
like
probably, established island.
New islands in the Philippines. Like you mean a country?
Did you just say that casually, that they just made new islands?
No, they just.
I understand that happens. I'm not dumb. Like, I understand that.
Tectonic plates, Sarah.
Tectonic plates and fucking volcanic shit. Like, I understand that, like, there's new things popping up all the time, even though they constantly just tell us that, the world's dying.
Okay, what also gets me is why is Pluto not a planet and then it is a planet?
Okay,
like, I feel like this is a rejected child at the foster home.
Okay, so my daughter had this classic book fair, which we all know is the prime. Like, that was the best thing in the whole world. She brought home her wish list, and along with that came the flyer. So her wish list was like $2, and then she's like, but Mom, I didn't put it down. There's this really nice Pokemon pen, and I really want it. And I was like, I full on support that. She was just like, I'm like, all I did was buy stationery from this classic book fair. Like, it was literally like the highlight, like one of those highlight things. You're like, oh, you get like a little poster. I got like a Lisa Frank poster, some pencils, some pens, fun little erasers, bookmarks, like stuff like that. And then I was like, oh yeah, I'll totally get that. And I'm looking at the flyer, and one of the books says Pluto, and it says, I'm a planet too. And as Pluto, I'm like a little person. And I was just like, but is it? Because like, I just remember when they were like, Pluto is not a planet. And then they took it away. There's a Gilmore Girls episode too, where people are like returning solar systems that have Pluto that they bought people for Christmas because it's no longer a planet. And I'm like, I'm so confused. Like, why?
I think because it's supposed to have a certain level of elements in order to be.
And then people are like, oh, it technically needs a moon to be qualified. But I'm also just like, what?
Which school lesson?
These are the things that run through our minds. Ugh.
You know the ones that you have to like guess the amount?
Yes. She had to do that.
I won every year.
I win a lot of them, and I don't know why. I would just look at it and see a number.
Yeah.
Or I would be like the closest. I don't know. Do you want to do a couple more fun ones?
Sure.
Okay. Would you rather have the superpower to instantly teleport to any location, but always forget why you teleported there in the first place? Me walking through every doorway in a house. Or have the ability to stop time, but forget what you were doing as soon as time resumes? Option A sounds like me when I walk through any doorway, and option B sounds like when I zone out and then I come to and I'm like, fuck, what was I doing?
I'm gonna go with A because then at least I can have a note on my phone of like, go to Italy.
I would totally go with A because I wouldn't have to pay for transporting anywhere.
Also,
Who fucking cares if I forgot? I would be like, oh my God, am I in Italy? Obviously, I want pasta. Am I in Greece? I want a freaking, I'm going to screw this up, gyro.
Gyro. I call it gyro.
I don't know. At least I think of gynecologist is a little close.
Would you rather have the ability to control the weather, but only when you're dancing, or be able to communicate with animals, but only when they're being noisy and chaotic?
Oh my God, what a great intervention technique is when dogs are being bitchy, turn around and be like, what is the matter with you? And Molly looks at me and goes, look it, I gotta go outside and take a dump. Can you just take me outside, please? Or you know what I really want? I really want a treat, or I really want scratches. I want love.
You know, I don't really care about the weather. I know that sounds kind of bad, but like...
Oh, it's not bad. Like, I don't feel like that's something that should be controlled. But I was like, when I watched X-Men, I thought Storm was like the fucking coolest thing ever. So like, that's a cool idea. But honestly, I think there's so many like, I don't know if this is the mom in me, but like the safety situations where like an animal, like say a bear's coming at you.
A bear.
And you're like, what do you need? And it's like, I'm going to eat your face. And you're like, fuck. But honestly,
like somebody hit me with a car.
Yeah, or be like someone, like, I'm not saying that like a bear would have sympathetic thoughts, but like, I think it would be cool in those like chaotic situations to be like, what the hell? And all of a sudden it just turns and tells you and you're like, oh, well, you don't need to do that. We can do this. Oh, okay. Like when your dog's grumpy and she's hungry. She's on a little treaty treat.
She's just like, can everybody shut up? I just want to know.
You're right.
Would you rather have a time-traveling scooter that takes you to random points in history, but always back with unexpected souvenirs, or have a pocket dimension filled with endless environment, but sometimes lose track of time and end up spending hours there unintentionally?
First off, did you instantly think pregnancy when you read unexpected souvenirs?
I read it and I was like, child.
Or have a pocket dimension filled with endless entertainment, but sometimes lose track of time and I'm spending hours there unintentionally. Oh, Percy Jackson. That's the first thing I thought of.
Oh my God. The casino?
Yes.
My
called. It's like
Lotus.
Yeah, they called it just like the Lotus thing, and it would be like people would go there and they'd be there for 5 minutes and they'd actually be there for 3 weeks, and they'd have
because they had the cookie.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a cookie.
No, they get the lotus flower. Ironically, for entertainment purposes, I was almost leaning towards the first one. The would you rather have a time traveling scooter that takes you back at random points in history and unexpected souvenirs? There was this show that I used to watch when I was a kid called Wishbone, and it had this little like dog, and they would jump in and out of like points of history, and they would like learn stuff, and then come back and all of a sudden it'd be like, oh my goodness, I have blank. Like they would have like a book from somebody, which I think is cool, but like unexpected souvenirs, like, whoops, I brought back the plague. Sorry, everybody.
I'm sorry.
Whoops-a-daisies. Is that Napoleon? Shit. Like, I almost feel like that would be more comical. I mean, the endless time, I honestly, that was my brain was like, going down the rabbit hole.
I know. I was like, also like Narnia. All of those things.
all those fun things. I don't know if I could honestly choose. I feel like a safer option may be option 2.
Yeah, consider you said the plague.
I know, like, just, whoops, what'd you bring back? Flesh-eating bacteria. Hey, everybody, would you like to meet an actual person infected by leprosy? Shit. Would you rather have the superpower to instantly learn any new hobby, but forget about your previous hobbies as soon as you start? Or have the ability to summon any object you need, but always forget where you put it afterwards?
B.
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 B. Why would I not want the ability to just go, okay, Endel, I would like to point out the irony of B. Have the ability to summon any object you need but always forget where you put it afterwards. Why the fuck do I need to know where I put it when I can summon it at any time? Bam.
I'd have a Monica closet. And that would...
Right?
I feel like A is just my life, so...
Yeah, A's just a little bit too relatable.
Would you rather have a magical fidget spinner that helps you focus but occasionally transfer you to a random location, or have a talking alarm clock that wakes you up with motivational speeches but also distracts you with its jokes? B.
I do have B. His name is Alexa.
Oh, I was like...
And I schedule the routines on it. And what it does is, like, you can have anything kind of play, or you can program it to play music, and you can program, like, a full routine. So I have it where it goes off at, like, 6, as an example. And then it will do the weather. It'll do, like, a fun fact of the day. Sometimes I have, like, a joke of the day. When Charlie was super into Pokemon, I did Pokemon of the day. And then... unless I turn it off, sometimes it'll randomly just start playing a song.
See, the thought of having a random, like, a fidget spinner, like, imagine doing, like, the bar exam, and you spin the fidget spinner, and you just end up in Egypt.
Occasionally drives me, like, that, the unknown scares me.
I'm not a fan. What if they're like, you need a dip of water?
What if your kid just needs to calm the fuck down and takes your magical fidget spinner, fidget spinner, and just, like, spins it, and you're like, where the fuck is my kid?
Space.
All of a sudden, it's like the news, and Charlie's in, like, Rome. Like, where's my mom? What the hell? Would you rather have a personal assistant who keeps you on track and your tasks, but occasionally joins you in random adventures, or have a time-traveling buddy who helps you fix past mistakes, but also creates new ones along the way? A. Why the fuck would I screw with anything else?
Why would I need to? What are these occasional, the random adventures? Like, is it getting coffee?
I don't know. Is it bad? Like, you're not my personal assistant, but you keep me on task, where I'm just like, oh, you know, we, like, joke around. We keep each other on task, and then sometimes we go on random adventures.
I will state, I am the instigator of this family. Not in the negative way that people make it seem of, like, don't push the buttons. No. If anybody wants anything done and they're not doing it, I just really loudly announce that I'm going to start doing it, and I start doing them. They're like, oh my god, I was thinking about doing that. Let me join you.
I know, and sometimes you just need that person to, like, whip you out.
No, but sometimes...
That sounded like a penis reference. That's not what I was going for.
Would you rather have the ability to read minds, but only with people who are thinking about their favorite childhood memories, or have a magical playlist that boosts your productivity, but also makes you break into spontaneous dance?
I am already option B, and I literally started dancing. Option B, why the fuck do I care about other people's childhood memories?
It's a pain in the ass. Thank you.
Yeah, no.
Tell me, bitch.
A magical playlist that boosts your productivity and also makes you break into spontaneous dance routines. A big thing that I do with Eve and with one of my best friends is we'll, like, randomly send each other playlists that we either find or create. This is really great when you're chilling driving. Perfectly great for her husband while he's chilling driving, because he's, like, listening to the words and probably imagining himself playing the guitar really well. My husband almost fell asleep on the way home when we were listening to it because it was so chill.
And I think that leads into Sarah.
Yeah.
What was your survive and thrive for the week?
My survive was... Oh, where'd my brain go? My survive is I got my hair done.
Yes.
My hair is purple, everybody.
Woo!
My survive, like, I was just trying my best. My allergies are so bad this week. And I know you're probably going to talk about yours too, but, like, mine were so bad. My bed, so bad that I was so fucking tired. And, like, I just felt, like, super lethargic. And also, like, my face was like, stop sticking your tongue out at me. My face was like, I don't know, like, it was just like hot and like itchy. So I cut all my nails off so I didn't scratch my freaking skin. And yeah. Also, like last Friday, no big deal, but I went to a gala. It wasn't as like, it's not as like bougie. Basically, it was like a fundraising dance for like my daughter's.
It was like a child banquet.
Dude, it was so much fun though, and the food was fucking delicious.
I want those scallop potatoes.
I just literally want a vat. This is gonna sound so niche. I want a vat of those fucking mushrooms that they had. Oh my god, they were so good. And that whatever the heck that freaking
Vegan
eggplant thing was.
almost.
I think it didn't give you heartburn. Gave Ben heartburn.
It gave me the ick. My survive was I had an allergic reaction and then I had a random like flu that lasted less than 24 hours. That was kind of annoying. Couldn't really breathe out of my nose. And my thrive is we got tickets to see Evanescence. You better be fucking thankful for that. Hey, it took a long ass time.
Dude, I'm so excited for Evanescence. It's the day before my birthday. That day before my birthday. Also, I didn't have to pay for my ticket because mommy paid for my ticket. She's like, literally, she's like, Evanescence is coming to Kelowna. Next message. Sarah, I will pay for your ticket as your birthday present. What?
Very excited. Good Evanescence. And maybe it'll bring me back to life.
Oh my god, you broke my brain.
But we have now reached an hour.
And now the end is here. And now I reach the final project. But I got it. We're very giggly. Also, I definitely need lunch. So thanks for spending time with us today on Burnt Out Perfectionist. You can find us on all of the socials, either as Burnt Out Perfectionist or Burnt Out Perfectionist Pod. Please like, subscribe, leave your review, hit the stars, give us a shout out, send us your comments,
And always stay warped and twisted as ever.
peace. Thank you so much for listening to us on YouTube. You can find us on all of the socials: Instagram, Pinterest,
TikTok,
Facebook.
Snapchat. But if you're more of a, like, just an audio type person, we're on Spotify Podcast, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music. I think we're on Pandora, iHeartRadio, and you can also check us out on the RSS feed.
Thank you so much for listening, and feel free to go re-listen to some of the episodes that we have.